It is always hard to make predictions, especially when it's about the future. But 2025 is starting, so let's check out what this year has in store for us. This is Boring Astronomy, and I'm Alessandro, your astronomer next door.
Boring astronomy.
In case you're wondering, I'm Alessandro and I have been in astronomy for the past 20 years, and I'm here trying to share with you a little bit of the things that I've learned during my journey. One could try to say, that for next year we expect the galactic supernova, a massive solar flare which is going to fry all of our electronics, or first contact with some alien species. But there are probably 5 events that are reasonably easier to predict and probably more tangible. So let's dive. The first one is something that many people have been waiting for more than 20 years. And I still remember vividly the first time I heard about this. And it is what nowadays called the largest survey of space and time. So for 25 years, large community of people, mostly led from the United States, have been building this massive telescope of 8 meters with a massive field of view at what is now known as the Vera Rubin Observatory. The telescope is called the Simoni telescope, and is going to perform this beautiful survey in 6 filters, broadband, and is going to cover the whole sky several times over the next 10 years. This is one of those projects which is a game changer, and it is expected to have first light sometime mid of this year. That image, which I'm sure is going to get a press release, is going to be the culmination of 25, almost 30 years of work. So it's going to be a very, very interesting image. Plus, I know some people who work in the project, so I'm excited also for them. The second thing that I expect very, very much is the first light of the foremost spectrograph and the first light of the WEAVE multi-object spectrograph. Foremost is based in Chile at the Vista telescope, which is a 4 meters telescope just close to Paranal. The WEAVE instrument is already installed and is at the William Herschel telescope in the island of La Palma, Canary Islands. WEAVE has already had its first light, but in another mode. The two instruments, they're supposed to do very complementary science the moment they start working in their multi-object spectroscopy mode, which means they both, based on 4 meter telescopes, they both are capable of taking something like 1000 spectra at the same time. And those instruments are going to be fantastic, and they're going to give us very, very interesting data for the next 10 years. So I seriously hope we're going to get data from these instruments sometime next year. Foremost, very likely second half of next year, and WEAVE possibly first half of next year. The third prediction is that on the 19th of March 2025, Euclid is going to make its first data release. It's not really a prediction, basically because from the contract with the European Space Agency, Euclid must do this. And I know people in the consortium, and I know that the things are moving. It's very interesting to see how the people involved in the project are actively working towards this first data release. We already had this year the early science observations, which already gave us some feeling of the beauty of the data from this instrument. But what we're probably going to get in DR1 is also spectra and a grasp of what Euclid is really capable of. And from my scientific perspective, and I don't want to say it too loud, we sort of hope that T Corona Borealis will go off. You probably heard it on the news already. There were ideas and thoughts and expectations that T Corona Borealis, which is a symbiotic star, would have nova explosion early this year. It didn't happen. The current best prediction is that the explosion will occur roughly middle of this year. The people who work in the field, we know, and we have already had this, so predictions can go horribly wrong. So the important thing is we are ready. So all of our instruments, the moment this star goes off, will be able to point at that. The only thing now is behind the sun, so hopefully don't go off while you're behind the sun. If you can hear me, T Corona Borealis, don't. And the last highlight of 2025 perhaps is going to be the conference in honor of Bruno Leibungut, which also, according to the scientific rationale, is going to announce a new value for the H0, the Hubble constant. Bruno has been Director General for Science of the European Southern Observatory for years. He's been leading the VRT project for years, and he's turning 65, hence he has to retire from ESO. But there's one thing that we don't know yet: if the Hubble constant is also 65 kilometers per second per megaparsec, or has another value. Over the past year, there has been already some controversy about the value of H0. Right. If you are following this channel, you probably have heard about the cosmological tension. We get different values of H0 depending if we use the cosmic microwave background or if we use supernovae or Cepheids. So is there something intrinsic of the universe that we don't understand? Is there something wrong with the data? I assume that something will come out during that conference. It's going to happen in April, and I assume there's going to be streaming on YouTube, so keep an eye on it. So what do you think is going to happen in 2025? What are your expectations? If you care, just post it in a comment and let me know. And if you like this video, bookmark it to keep me accountable for what I just said, so that you can come back and make fun of me at the end of the year. And of course, if you like the channel, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. For the meantime, stay bored. Ciao.